me, it's kind of just been more of like a motivation thing. I feel like some days, I very strongly like have that motivation. Like I want to get that 170 and I'm very committed. I want to study for as many hours a day as I can. And some days I just find it a bit harder to have that same kind of motivation towards studying.
Do you notice anything in particular associated with the good days or the bad days?
I think for the good days, it's kind of a bit of like stress because I'm trying to take the April LSAT, but I'm also shooting for a 170, which is a pretty high score. So I think like a bit of stress and then a bit of like motivation, like thinking of other people in my life that I know that have been able to get the 170 that are in a very like that were in a very similar situation to myself. I think is motivating, or hearing other stories or seeing things on Reddit, things like that.
Sure, sure. Do you seek these motivational things out, or do you kind of just come across them?
I kind of just come across them, and maybe I should be seeking them out, honestly.
That might be it. That might be that every single day or every other day, whatever you need, whatever frequency, you seek out one of those success stories. I've got plenty of videos on the YouTube channel. I have plenty of written LSAT diary success stories as well on the site, just walking you through students, walking you through their study journeys, documenting what led to their score increases. So you could just read one of those guest posts or watch one of those videos whenever you feel the need.
Got it. And I've also felt a little like conflicted on over how much I should be studying, and how many hours like I should have in before I take the April LSAT.
Yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of time. Speaking now, end of February, you've got about 2 months. So you don't need to study 8 hours a day. Of course, I wouldn't want you to burn out. How much time do you have available, do you think?
So my time is pretty free since I'm studying abroad right now in Costa Rica. I don't have much commitment besides my classes. So I would say I have like 10 hours a day of free time.
Okay, so you've got plenty, certainly more than you need. And
Hmm.
I would not use all of it just for LSAT. I'd say on average, 5 to 6 hours in a single day is the maximum that I would ever recommend.
Okay.
But some days, if you need to do less, that's totally fine.
Okay. Do you have any advice in terms of making the most of these next 2 months toward reaching my goal score?
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, it depends on what exactly you're struggling with aside from the motivation, which we addressed. If there are certain sections or certain question types, we could talk through those a little bit. But it's really about whatever you need to keep moving forward based on where you're struggling or what possibility you're looking to create in terms of some people really want logic games perfection and feel that's the area they can make the most progress. Other people feel like they need help getting more engaged in reading comp. Regardless, though, you want to make sure you're building up to doing full length timed exams as the test
Hmm.
day approaches. That's something I would definitely do over the next 2 months, just slowly building up. Have you been incorporating timed work at all?
Yes. So I've been doing one practice test a week and then reviewing that. And then I'll do like a mixture of untimed sections and then timed sections.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Hmm.
So I'd say shift the ratio closer to timed work as it gets closer. So doing individual timed sections, then doing two sections back to back, then two sections break one more, then two break two, which is exactly what you'll experience on test day.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I would aim overall to do at least ideally 10 full length exams before test day. So you could budget those out to be roughly two a week. Don't feel like you
Hmm.
need to push it. If you were only 1 month before the exam, I wouldn't say do three a week or anything. That might
Hmm.
be a little bit more than would be useful. But
Hmm.
the idea is just basically several so that when you're at test day, it feels as close as possible to being just another practice test.
Hmm. Okay. And I was kind of considering like pushing maybe to the June LSAT. I know like a lot of people are people that I've spoken with have recommended that. What would you like say in terms of deciding when is best for me to take it?
Sure. Well, you don't have to decide yet, first of all. You see, as April gets closer, if you're scoring at or very close to where you want to be, then you could go ahead with April. And you could still also register for June as a backup just to have the peace of mind that it'll be there for you if you need it.
Hmm.
At this point, though, I mean, I'm guessing that you're going to be looking to you're going to be applying to law school in the fall. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's the case, then there's no reason to take the LSAT relatively earlier because you could still apply at the very beginning of the cycle either way. So that would bias me in favor of recommending that you take it in June because that gives you a bit more time to achieve your fullest
Hmm.
potential.
Hmm. Okay. Um,
Any other questions? Anything else you wanted to make sure we covered today? I'm happy to help you out.
Not particularly. I think it's mostly just been holding myself accountable to actually putting in the hours and getting that prep in.
Yeah, for sure. I actually have a tracker that I've put together at the very beginning of the foundational section of the course it's meant to help you stay accountable and
Hmm.
keep moving forward, tracking the number of problems you're doing, the number of videos you're watching, the classes you're attending. Did you have a chance to check that out?
Yes, I've actually been using it.
Oh,
Hmm.
awesome. Great. Have you been finding it helpful?
Yes, I've definitely been finding it helpful to keep track of like which areas I'm putting in the most prep in and allocating enough hours for each section.
Okay, cool. Well, if nothing else, we could leave off here, but definitely feel free to reach out if you need anything at all moving forward. I'm here for you.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.